I'm Diane Mathis, and I am the writer and the creator of You Ain't Paid No Dues Until You Heard My Blues. And this is my baby, my story that just gave me the inspiration to write about the young entertainers of today that have no clue of the prices that have been paid for them to be able to do the things that they do in the music business and drama, theater, all those venues. I just had to tell the story of how a young girl who's made it in the business doesn't understand that all of the doors have been opened and the ground floor has been laid for them to do the things that they desire to do. And no greater way to tell the story through Eartha Kitt, and Dorothy Dandridge, and Bessie Smith, and Big Mama Thornton, and Hattie McDaniels, the ladies who sacrificed and were told that they couldn't do certain things. But when you have a talent that God has given you, nobody can stop you from doing what God has set for you to do. And these ladies open the doors for all the young ladies now that are out here doing things like the Beyoncés and the Rihannas and the Monicas and all these people. Hattie McDaniels was told that she would never play anything other than a maid, but she did that excellently and received the first Oscar nomination. And so I just want to tell people that when you have something that's been given to you, it's your responsibility to open the doors for others to be able to do the things that they dream to do. But it can't be done just thinking that you're doing it on your own. Everyone stands on someone's shoulders.
I love Diane. I love her work, and I just want to be so supportive to her.
She's got so much talent. We've known her for many years now through the church. So
I don't know. She's just got so much drive. The drive is just amazing. It's just so forceful, but so... Well, she believes in herself.
I was just going to say that.
Well, she believes in God, first of all, but she believes in herself. And that's what's going to get her places.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, this play came to me, it just the weirdest experience. I was performing at the Fox Theater, and as I was going up the stairs into the dressing rooms, I saw signatures upon the walls of all the greats who had played there, and it was like the spirits were just talking to me and saying, this is your opportunity to perform at the Fox Theater. And it was an amazing experience. And as I was upstairs getting ready for my own performance, I just felt like somebody was telling me to tell this story of all the greats who have graced the stage of the Fox Theater, the Music Hall, and all the other venues in the city of Detroit, the Fisher Theater. I just had to write it down, and I did so on a paper towel with a magic marker. And it just kind of came together, and it just stayed in my spirit. For many years it stayed in my spirit. And finally, when I had an opportunity to go down to North Carolina, I went to the library and I went to buy movies and videos about all the entertainers that spoke to me. And I started writing this story. I've done it before, I just did an excerpt, but I really delved into their characters and the things that they went through and all the experiences that they had with racism and saying that they couldn't do certain things. And I just had to find out why these people were so diligent about just and the tenacity that they had to perform. And the story just started coming together, and the songs came together, and it just came together. And that's what I'm doing now, trying to tell my story.
She had the majority of the top talent in the city that come out to support her, the women. That's what really shocked me. The majority of the women that people that go after for the plays came out. The ones that I compete for jobs were in that same room. The ones that see me and say, oh my gosh, she's here. We're not fighting against each other. We're all together for the same project. So that felt good. That felt really good.
People can go on Kickstarter to support my efforts and see that this story needs to be told, because so many of the young entertainers of today have no clue who Marian Anderson is and what they've done. Some of the women, like for example, Josephine Baker, she helped with the war over in France, and she was ostracized because of some of the things that she did, but she opened the doors for many people. Eartha Kitt was ostracized and she was blackballed because she spoke against the Vietnam War. I didn't know these things myself until I started doing research on my characters. And Hattie McDaniels was told she'd never do anything, but found out that a lot of the entertainers back in the 30s and the 40s were writing their own scripts and doing their own video productions. And nobody knew they were doing all these wonderful things because they didn't have a venue to show these things. But I saw movies that were created by the guy who was with Amos and Andy. And he wrote comedies and he did serious things where he was a detective. And these movies blew my mind when I saw them. I'm like, wow, these are things that are happening nobody knows about. So I had to tell my story about what these women did. And it's an amazing journey. And I believe that people will be thoroughly entertained. I have some of the best talent in Detroit.
When you first called me, I wasn't sure. I thought, okay, I'm getting this vibe that this is going to be something really cool. And then she sent me the script. And I stayed up till about 3 in the morning reading it one night. And I was just blown away by her vision and the thing, how she put all these artists together and all these amazing women. And the way that it just came to life as I was reading it, and I couldn't put it down. And I actually read it once, and then I read it again, and it was just absolutely incredible. And I was so excited, and I texted her that night, and I said, "You are so amazing and so talented, and I cannot wait to be a part of this project and this amazing."
The Detroit talent is amazing. It's not just Motown that came up and are doing things. It's people here that should be recognized. So these young ladies have stepped up and become a part of You Ain't Paid No Dues Until You Heard My Blues. And I just want to showcase their talent by telling the stories of the women who opened the doors for them to be where they are.
Press down, shaking together, running over, give, and it will be given unto you. Good measure. Press down, shaking together, running